right. So if you guys want to make your kicks and 808s hit way harder, try the BusyWorks Beats EQ2. So basically what we're going to do is use this drive knob. That's the secret to the whole knock. It adds density to your track and dynamic. So I'll turn it on and off. Here's off.
What you know about it in these streets? We're talking bangers over here. Big chickens over here.
So notice how much energy we lose without this EQ.
What you know about the streets? What you blowing on the trees? Ain't nothing to eat. We getting reckless over here.
So there's two factors in making your kick and 808 knock a little bit more. The first factor is the transient curvature of your kick. So if your kick is up here and your 808 is up here, there's no room in the difference between the two. So your pointy sound is at the same volume as your sustained sound, and you're going to get a very flat sound. It doesn't sound punchy. So the first thing is understanding how to boost your kick up to be taller, I'll say, than your 808.
Baby, what you know about it?
I don't think we have a kick in this track. Oh yeah, we do. So this kick sits around somewhere around 100. So simply me boosting at 100 is telling the kick to turn up more when it impacts. Now I'm generalizing here.
What you know about it in these streets?
Because there's also a vocal at 100, so it's not just the kick.
What you know about it in these streets?
But another thing you could do is right click and make dynamic. So you could boost, and then it only boosts when it goes past a certain threshold, which is determined here with the dynamic threshold.
What you know about it in these streets?
Is that more drive?
We're talking bangers over here. Big chickens over here. Down knuckles over here. What you know about the streets?
Here's off.
Ain't nothing to eat. We getting reckless over here.
So that's how you make your kick more pointy. You give it a dynamic curvature, and you boost at the kick's fundamental frequency, and therefore it's turning up the pointiness of the kick, and it's separating it from the bass tones most of the time. It just depends on where your bass sits, where your kick sits. Let's try this on a trap track. So here's another track without the melody. We're going to group the drums. Now, most people just slam their drums by turning it up, and you can actually lose a significant amount of dynamic range, which is like the head bob effect, if you just slam everything to 0. So you're not really creating a bounce. All right, so let's first turn stuff down. Some of these sounds aren't routed to the mixer. So what we're going to do is go to the channel rack, highlight the sounds that are not routed, hit Control L. We're going to go to the mixer. We're going to group them. Right click here, go to route to this track only, and just turn everything down. Okay. Now we're going to add the BusyWorks Beats EQ2. Let me find it off the list. Now we have the EQ2. The first knob we're going to go for is the drive knob. Now by default, you shouldn't have to crank this up too much to get a vibe. We can also switch the modes. This is going to give us a different bite. Kind of like the dense mode, it adds a nice clipping sound to the bass. And what we can do is drive this even further by turning down the input, turning down the output, turning up the input. It's probably a little too much actually, so let's roll that back. Now we now have a new high quality mode. This takes care of any aliasing, but let's do what's called tone shaping here and just sweep around, and it will adjust the other frequencies. So if you listen closely, a lot of that punch of the kick is actually at 250 hertz. So if you want more of that kick to stand out, to make it feel a little more dynamic, we could boost here. We could right click and make it dynamic, and we could change the dynamic threshold to make the kick turn up more than the bass. Now again, we got to take care of headroom, so let's turn this down. The output. Another technique you guys can try is right-clicking your lower frequencies. Now in the BusyWorks Beats EQ2, the frequency is already preset for you guys. You don't have to overly think. Just right-click a node, and we're going to go to where it says filter type. We're going to go to what's called an all-pass filter. This basically adds a time delay to a very specific frequency. So we're going to move this around. We're going to do it by ear. Personally, I like it at 40 hertz. It just makes that sub poke out a little bit more. So you want to sweep anywhere below 100 hertz. You're going to find different areas where your bass may poke through even more with this all-pass filter. And it just makes the bass resonate in a different way. Let's try a different saturation modes here. Now, Sonics is made for trap music. So we can really push the sound here. And notice we're not losing the identity of the track. It just is adding the character to it without removing the vibe. So let's go to compressor mode. And then mastering is a little bit of a more subtle mode. So far I like the Sonics mode for this vibe. It just adds the right texture. Really not much else to do with the drums here. We can right click, add a high shelf here. Make those hi-hats a little brighter. So here's before the EQ. Here's after. It just has a little bit more like identity to the sound. Let's see if we can find another track. All right, now let's add this EQ to this like Gunna style track.
Lot of the clothes, cover the beers, I cover the boat. Out of the reels, I ride with a float. Shorter me up, I shorter the moat. Riding the beers, I cut the coat. Better the pills, I shorter go broke. West of the beers, they still the dope. Part of the real, they hear one more. Riding the beer, and then one more.
So same techniques, we're gonna switch out saturation styles here. I think the smooth fits this track the best. So again, here's before. Here's after. It's like the track comes alive. Night and day.
Basics, I gotta go. Right to the real, the read up below. On the cookies, I gotta smoke. All of my days, don't want smoke.
So here's before the EQ. So I tried to make this EQ as easy as possible. Set a high shelf.
What's under keeping a lot of them clues? More. Lot of the clues. More. Clues. More. Lot of the clues. Cover the beers, I cover the boat.
So see the power of that all pass filter. It really helps you hear some of those sub frequencies. Sometimes they get tied up in phase cancellation most of the time. And then we boost it up using a dynamic bell curve here at about 90 hertz, which is where the kick usually hits, or the top of the 808. And just those two adjustments, and then we just turned up the drive. And the track sounds way better. Let's turn it up. Now let's say you want to address some of the side image. Let's right click here. We're going to go to processing side. I'm going to boost it so you guys can hear it. It's like a reverby tone. So this is the kind of cluttery sound. We're going to turn this down on the side image, which is the difference between your left and right ear. And now we're going to make the track feel more clear. So here's before. So since we took away so much energy, you can usually add another side enhancement. So kind of offset some of the lost harmonics.
On the cookies, I let smoke. All of my niggas, they don't want smoke. How about that face and a lot of that coke? All of my attention, they got that coke. Run in the building, nigga, that's smoke. Run in the building, nigga, that's smoke. Run in the building, nigga, that's smoke. How they been seen is not a no joke. How they been pouring a lot.
Now we get to gain stage. Let's go into this.
How they been pouring a lot of the
More aggressive sounds.
Not of a book. I just been pouring a lot of the dough. What's on there keeping a lot of them cool? Close. Pouring. Lot of the clothes. Pouring. Clothes. Pouring. Lot of the clothes. Couple of beers, I cover the boat. Out of the reels, I ride with a float. Shorter me up, I shorter them more. Bodies and beers, I cut it a coat. Better the pills, I should go broke. West of the beer, they kill the dope. Part of the real, they hear one more. Part of the bit, and then one more.
Just pulling some of these adjustments. And also we have this thing called a tone shaper. So when you make these dramatic moves, a tone shaper will rein it in a little bit and make it less dramatic and balance out some of the decisions. So this is a great knob when you guys just want to experiment with different tones.
All of my niggas, they don't want smoke. How about that face and a lot of that coke? All of my attention, they got that coke. Run in the building, nigga, that's smoke. Run in the building, nigga, that's smoke. Run in the building, nigga, that's smoke. How they been seen is not a no joke. How they been pouring a lot of the soap. Round the knees, a lot of the phone. How they been pouring a lot of the dope.
So we're really driving the signal.
I just been pouring a lot of the dope. What's on there keeping a lot of them cool?
So I'm just showing you guys how simple EQ that I built can make your stuff sound way different. Go to busyworksbeats.com/EQ to learn more. Peace out, guys.